Hi, welcome to VYAPT Growth Series, Season 2, Episode 15. And in our growth series today, we have with us Mr. Vinay Agrawal, Director Hira Group, with interest in metals and mining. Hi, Vinay. Nice to have you in our series.
Pleasure's all mine, Pankaj. How are you?
I'm doing good, Vinay. So, Vinay, would like to go with our first curiosity. With Hira Group having diversified interest across various segments, uh, would you like to probably share what are the sectors in which you are working and what are the growth prospects of the industry pertaining to the metals as well as mining or the steel industry, and how it is working towards making a sustainable future?
Right, that's a long question. I'll take it in three parts. Um, Hira Group of Industry is a diversified organization. It's a publicly listed company having name in Godavari Power and Ispat Limited. The main interest of the organization stays with the metal and mining, as you rightly said. We have an iron ore mine. We produce about 2.7 million tons of iron ore pellets in Chhattisgarh, zero point 0.7 million tons of iron ore pellets in Odisha, and zero point 0.6 million tons of steel plant capacity, comprising of products such as wire rod, and say about 250,000 tons of annual production capacity of ferroalloys. So these all products are all cohesively related with backward and forward integration. So the organization has been, started in back in 1985 and continuously progresses towards its own organic trajectory. So on the second part of your question was that what kind of growth and perspectives we see in this sector as metal and mining. Well, this is we call it as a core sector. Wherever you'll see it online as well, the television, and they'll always say that the core sector growth has always been a very important parameter. It may not be the blockbuster in every year, but yes, after COVID, it has shown a lot of recovery and a lot of growth. But largely, this sector is the engine of the economy, and that's where the growth, and that's where the employment, the basic grassroots employment generated from. So yeah, this sector has a lot of potential. It will still grow. I think India is the second largest steel producer in the world, but I think the gap between the first and the last second is very big. So I think we have like 10 more ladders to climb up to take the first spot. So we have a lot of space. So I think there's a lot of growth potential. And on the sustainability front, I mean, globally, we see everything every day that the carbon has become a difficult deterrent in our industry. We are not a cement industry; we are definitely steel industry. And after COVID, we've also incurred so many talks about green energy, green power, green hydrogen, and greening of steel industry. So we are very cautiously waiting and eagerly waiting for those technologies to start taking good strong foothold in global positioning. And maybe in coming 5 years we'll see good changes on that front.
Okay, so Vinay, you talked about the kind of changes happening, and with the diversified interest you have in various businesses, and the kind of growth prospects you're looking at. We all are aware of the growth of Chhattisgarh and how Hira Group has helped in the kind of growth the state is looking at in terms of helping towards various businesses and the kind of obviously the employment opportunities and other opportunities the group produces for the state. But going forward, can you also talk about what are the innovations coming in this industry, and how it is going to shape the future, maybe in terms of employing more people or maybe direct or indirect employment happening?
Largely, Pankaj, this industry, in our industry, we see that GIGO, so golden and gold out, that's what we count. So everything starts from where we consume. We have a large footprint of our own consumption. And first step we do has always been the strategy of this organization is to work forward and two step forward and one step backward, and we have always focused largely on integration towards backward integration. So going forward, I think one of the most important aspect we all as industrialists can do is reducing our carbon footprint and adding solar into our consumption portfolio.
Mhm.
And as much as we push forward for solar consumptions, Chhattisgarh has been a very enterprising state throughout. So
True.
after 2001, Chhattisgarh has been, in the sector of electricity, been the pioneer, where the state government has always come up with innovative solutions to promote power generation. Earlier, it was through thermal. Now they've opened this door for the solar as well. So I
True.
think going forward, solar consumption and having a liberated power position for any industry would be the fantastic strategy going forward. And that not only will reduce carbon footprint, also ensure the sustainable cash flow for coming decades.
Vinay, you talked about sustainability primarily from the terms of carbon footprint and other practices. Can we also talk about as a group? What are your top priorities? Because this particular decade we are seeing the growth decade of India across the globe, across various sectors we are in, and we are coming up at today we are standing at a sixth largest economy. Probably in years to come we could be fifth, fourth, third, whatever, as we move forward. And there's a whole lot of push from the government as well to become a $5 trillion kind of an economy. What are your top priorities as you contribute more and more towards the development of India as a nation?
Well, the foremost priority for us today is that to find new product lines. I mean, we have seen that in Indian market scenario, in Indian context, be it in Raipur Chhattisgarh region, be it Hyderabad region, be it Durgapur region, or be it Alang or Maharashtra region. These are the maybe 4 5 clusters of steel producing industries spread out across India. Gujarat would be one of the important one as well. So in across all these industrial segment, the technology and the mindset where the capex was invested was largely driven out of what Indianized context of those perceived technology of which Russians and the Soviet Union back in those days had given to the world.
True.
But going forward, I think India today ranking on the second position. Our topmost priority is that having understood the operation and processes so well of how to produce a steel, it is now important to also find newer products, which is apart from the mild steel category, which India is largely producing today. So in mild steel category, largely when India moved away only from mild steel and focus its own direction towards special steel,
Mhm.
I think that's where the global differentiator will start pouring in for India.
Okay. Okay. So you talked about the kind of differentiation India is going to produce to the world, and the kind of growth prospects you're looking at, and how the group is probably helping towards becoming a more and more green company in years to come. Uh, Having said that, when you have been an instrument of the kind of change, or the kind of a person who is probably transforming the group to the next level, as the next generation comes into the picture. How difficult or easy it has been over the time as we progress forward?
Well, I don't know how to put it right, but some days are diamond, some days are stone, and it's always a learning journey through and throughout. And right now, I think it's going to be a very. It has always been a good journey, and it will always turn out to be more and more exciting by the day. So initially, the process and the operations and the administration getting things functioning the way it's supposed to function becomes the priority, and then achieving your goals becomes very important. Timely achievement of your goals. So when we put up a signboard in our company saying that by year so and so will reduce so and so consumption by so much level, and our efficiency will reach by so and so position, we really the whole system sort of unites together and gets on with that job, and to ensure that we have to come down with our best effort to bring out that efficiency from the system. So I mean, it's a continuous process, of learning and reincarnating of what was relevant yesterday is no longer relevant today. So we keep on every year we set great new thoughts, new bars, and new goals, and we set out on that trajectory every year.
Wonderful, Vinay. So you have been very straightforward to answer the questions, which we wanted to, know from you.
Yeah.
But now it's the time to go to our rapid fire round, wherein you will have 10 questions, and all the questions needs to be answered in a one word or maximum a sentence. Uh, uh, the first two curiosities, you have been very purposeful in stating your mind to all of us, and I'm sure our viewers must have enjoyed it. Now we'll move forward to have our rapid fire round now. So we'll have 10 questions, and
Okay.
each question can be answered in one word or maximum a sentence.
Okay.
You don't have to take much of your time, and yeah, I start. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Looking forward.
Okay, so the first question to you is, what's your favorite dessert?
Dessert? Well,
Yeah.
I like choco lava. I mean, chocolate lava with vanilla ice cream, hot and cold together works really well for me.
Okay. Now the second one is, what was your best drop the mic moment?
I mean, how should I say drop the mic moment? I mean,
I mean, maybe maybe in your schooling sometime, or maybe you have found a position wherein you don't have anything to say, but or could be an embarrassing moment, whatever.
okay, okay. Well, I was very young that time. Okay, and
Mm-hmm.
I think I was in class sixth or somewhere. Wherein, in schools. So I'm from Rajkumar College of Raipur, and
Mm-hmm.
in my school there was always every day was a assembly, and in assembly somebody used to conduct the assembly.
Mm-hmm.
So there was a person who would play harmonium, and there was a person who would play tabla. And
Mm-hmm.
that day, unfortunately, that student who used to play was on sick, and so there was nobody to conduct the assembly. So I
Mm-hmm.
remember the principal on the stage shouting out there, "Is there no one in the school who can conduct on behalf of the absenteeism student?" So
Mm-hmm.
that I think was the moment where I heard him say one time, I heard him say the second time, and I was new from. So we were from the junior school to a intermediate school, so I was very new to intermediate school. So I was just going back like. So I think that was the of the moment mic for me. I mean, I do remember it till date. So I was very embarrassed also, and I was very because there was a void which I could have filled, and I felt that I should just move on. So that
Good to know.
I still remember. It's been what 20 years, maybe more than that.
Oh, okay, so memories are still fresh, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
We move to the third question now. If you were a DJ, what would your DJ name be? If you were
yeah.
a DJ, what would be your name be?
Mm, DJ Ice and Fire. I don't know.
Probably that's coming from your desert, huh?
Maybe, perhaps.
Okay, so we move on to the next question. What movie do you wish life was more like?
Movie, yeah.
So, any movie do you want to resemble with the kind of life you wanted or you are looking at or whatever it is? Any movie.
Well, I movies are always movies. I mean, I like more like a superhero kind of movies still. So Iron Man is a very fantastic character. But on the pragmatic life towards, I mean, I'm a very optimistic person. One of the movies I really loved was Beautiful Mind. Not
Okay.
because of the difficulties the individual passed through, but the way he could overcome it, and eventually when he went on the Nobel to take the Nobel Prize on the stage, I think that's one of the best movie I could relate to that, the highest standard a movie should have.
Okay. Okay. So,
Like
taken your point, you're talking about A Beautiful Mind, isn't it?
A Beautiful Mind of Russell Crowe. Yes.
Okay. Now, I'll move on to the next question is what is the first thing you do when you get up in the morning?
Well, I freshen up and I start go out for my run or my workouts.
Okay. Fair enough. Weapon of choice.
Weapon of
Choice.
okay. Uh, how would how would we look into it? Weapon of choice would be.
Weapon of choice could be anything. I mean, like any object you can make a weapon, or there are a lot of weapons there. So,
I think
weapon of choice.
pen is the best. I feel that,
I
I
think,
like
yeah, I think a pen is mightier than a sword, isn't it?
earlier than a sword. I mean, I like it to write it down easier
Okay,
that
so
way.
your weapon is a pen. Wonderful.
Yeah.
So, how many selfies do you take in a day?
A day.
Yeah,
I may be taking once or twice in a month for sure. I don't know
once or
about a
twice
day.
in a month.
Yeah.
You're not a selfie freak person.
I'm not a usually selfie person. Not on Instagram too actively.
Okay. If you could be a fictional character, who would you be? A fictional character.
A fictional character from Ayn Rand
Okay. And fair enough.
and
And
Ronan Keating, I think. Yes. So I
okay.
mean that book has always been very intriguing for me, and that character there is something about that character very different.
Okay. Taking your point. So what passion would you love to follow? I think
Passion.
you already have your hands full.
I think so. I mean, in personal life I enjoy piano.
Okay.
It's one part of music which has always been a part of me, and music
Hmm.
keeps on coming and going. So there are days when I'm dwelling into my music mode, and there are days
Okay.
when I'm aloof with it as well.
Okay. So your passion you want to follow is piano. So now the last one is what was your favorite 80s movie? I mean, something which you might have enjoyed whenever you
Andaz
watched,
apna
maybe
apna,
90s. Sorry,
andaz apna apna.
that Amir Khan and Salman Khan
Amir
one.
Khan and Salman Khan. Yeah, that was the only movie, by the way, they acted together.
But it is fantastic. I mean, a lot of humoristic one. You'll find a lot of ways to laugh in that movie.
Even if I watch it today, I can I mean, have a good evening on that movie.
Wonderful. So 10 straight answers from you. You got 10 and 10 out of 10 on this rapid fire questions, and we'll move on to our last curiosity now. And Vinay, you have been a quite a purposeful person, throughout, as per as our understanding and research goes. Can you talk more around, what has shaped your life in terms of the memorable lessons which you might have learned from your mentors, and how has it impacted your leadership style?
Well, there are, every stage of my life, I've been very lucky. That is that there've been so many mentors around me, not only in terms of my family and my to manage my family life as well, but also in professional career. And it is not only limited to the business life, but also it is also related to my college life, which is from Indian School of Business. So every era of my life, there have been great men throughout, and one of the greatest uh, piece of what has always guided my motto is stay true to the purpose. I mean, the fight for the true fight for the purpose and your objective itself is so intriguing that deviating from that never actually results a lot of credible output. So I'm looking always and always looking forward for credible outputs with whatever I have, with all honesty and all firepower I can produce.
Fair enough, fair enough. So you talked about staying true to your purpose and objective, which is very, very integral and core to Vinay as a person and the kind of leadership which is displays. Uh, Thank you so much, Vinay, for being part of this growth series, and it was a fantastic, speaking to you, learning a lot of things which is going to come up, kind of innovations and sustainability you as a group is focusing, and the kind of growth prospect the group is undergoing to see it happen in coming few years. Thank you so much for your time and enlightening us with a lot of things and the kind of
Thank you
wisdom
so
you
much,
brought.
Pankaj. Thank you for having me over here. And thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Peace.